Earlier this year, Capcom released Monster Hunter Wilds, and I did a whole review on it. I thought it was great. I really, really do enjoy the game. This was my second Monster Hunter game. A whole lot of fun. Biggest problem was just performance. The game did not run super duper well. Frame rate was like, okay. The main problem for me was in the visuals, just very like muddy textures, like weird resolutions, scaling. The whole thing was just kind of fuzzy and weird looking at times. Thing is, I was playing on my Xbox Series X, and if I thought I had it bad, that was probably nothing compared to what PC players have been going through. I mean, it's a tale as old as time, multi-platform release, and the PC version has big problems. And it seems that in this case, the PC version of this game was even worse, really bad performance issues. I mean, of course, you know, you have a bunch of different people all with different systems, so they're all going to have different problems. So it seems that the game was just very poorly optimized. People are having big problems, big glitches and crashes and all of whatever you can expect. But then it's also worth noting that a lot of people are having problems with how the game was designed, mainly its post-game content, and this is not something that I'm super in on. I'm a casual player. I never even got into that endgame loop, and I haven't been playing Monster Hunter for a long time, so I don't really know exactly what it is people expect, but basically just there's something wrong with the endgame that people are not really happy with. So between that and the performance problems, people have been quite upset about the state that the game is in. And as always, I will say, like, that is kind of understandable because Capcom, their games are usually so beautifully polished. They usually optimized really well. Still really don't exactly know what happened here. It's got to be something to do with the open world, just something about it they couldn't figure out. I don't know what it is about the game that they're not able to figure out, but it seems they're having a hard time figuring it out because the game came out several months ago and Capcom keeps promising fixes, and it seems that maybe they have been tidying things up a little bit here and there, but for the most part, the game just is still not running the way that it should. And then, of course, you have the content thing. People are still kind of upset about that. I mean, it's pretty normal for Capcom to release content for these games over time. To my understanding, even like giving the end game itself, like the real whole purpose of the game, ends up like coming in later updates. I don't really know where that's at. Maybe by now they should have updated it to a point where, I don't know, whatever. What I'm saying is maybe they're dropping the ball there too. Again, I don't really know. I'm not into all that. But at least performance-wise, it does seem that they are having a hard time updating the game to the place where it should be. And I think the longer this goes on, the more and more frustrated people get. Because it's one thing to release a game in a sad state and then like, okay, but then they eventually fixed it, right? Yeah, it's still frustrating, but at least they did. But it's just kind of ongoing. And the thing is, this series is crazy popular. You know, this is not some little game like this. They have been growing this series, like with each title, just getting bigger and bigger. This was the biggest, newest, best looking one. Literally just millions of people are dying to play it, and they're having problems. So like, it's a hard thing to just ignore. You know, it's a hard problem to put down. It's hard for people to just kind of put down the game and wait until later. Everybody wants to play. They want to play so badly, and a lot of people are playing. So like, oh, I'm having a hard time running it on my PC, but like, people are still playing it. This is still the time when people are playing the game. You want to get in on that. You want to strike when the iron's hot. So I definitely see the frustration, and people are, as they usually do, taking their frustration to reviews, namely Steam reviews for the PC version. When displaying review scores, Steam splits it up between overall reviews and recent reviews, which I think is a pretty smart way to do it. And the recent reviews are marked as overwhelmingly negative. Like, out of all of the many thousands of recent reviews that people have left for the game, overwhelmingly negative is the majority. Okay, but like, review bombing, it's a thing. Like, we get it. Like, that's everybody loves to do that. But what about the overall score? Well, the overall score is mixed, which means that like, overall, not just recently, not just like review bombing campaigns, but overall, the consensus is very mixed. And I suppose you could still argue that, you know, review bombing can kind of throw off any score of any game. And sure, there may be plenty of people who, their game runs okay, like it's still fun, it's just not where it should be. They're still gonna go on there and give it like the lowest score possible, which may be a little bit of an exaggeration, but at the same time, they're trying to send a message to Capcom by saying the game should not be in this state. I'm not gonna go into the whole everything about that right now. The point is, people are very unhappy. They're very unhappy about this. And speaking of Steam, I don't have the exact numbers on me right now, but I heard that at one point recently, Monster Hunter World, one of the previous games, really the game the most responsible for blowing up the series and bringing it to a really wide audience, that was Monster Hunter World. That was its really, really big moment. At some point recently, there were more concurrent players playing that than Monster Hunter Wilds, which is pretty... Yeah, it's a thing. And, there's another thing that some gamers, just some, I'm not going to paint the whole entire crowd as villains, obviously. I think it's usually what I hope is a relatively small percentage of the population of gamers. Well, they do other stuff too when they get upset about their games. And you're talking targeted harassment campaigns, harassing the devs, sending threats of all kinds. So, naturally, of course, when you're talking about a game with millions of players, you're gonna get a lot of bad eggs in there. So that's a thing, too. Capcom even had to put out a statement being like, leave us alone, we will sue you. That's to sum it all up, please don't harass our developers. We will sue you if we have to, which is totally reasonable, by the way. Absolutely. I kind of goes without saying, but don't be one of those people, please. If one of you is listening to this right now, I urge you kindly, gently, to not do that, please. Thank you. I understand being upset, I understand being angry, but taking it out on people who had nothing to do with any of these decisions at all, it's not the right way to funnel, to direct your anger. Again, kind of goes without saying, but whatever. And the thing is, like I said, this is a game that is actively being played. People are really continually upset about it because, often with internet drama or whatever, a game comes out and it makes people mad for whatever reason, but then the outrage kind of dies down over time. In this case, it's not dying down, again, because it is an ongoing issue. If anything, it kind of feels like it's getting worse. It kind of feels like the longer we go, kind of the more upset people are getting, and Capcom was set to deliver a number of presentations at the 2025 Computer Entertainment Developers Conference, which is basically the Japanese equivalent of GDC, Game Developers Conference. The developers are doing a number of talks on the game, but Capcom has had to cancel one of them. I will now read you the title of this talk, Making Monster Hunter Wilds Run Smoothly. All about performance adjustments. It was going to talk about GPU load, CPU load, memory optimization, and Capcom's many battles to maintain stable operation while realizing the elements that make the game a selling point. That's from the official description. And Capcom has not given a reason why they've canceled this talk, but it feels a little bit obvious. You have a game that is supposed to be very popular, but everyone's really mad because it's running really poorly. I agree that you probably should not give a talk about how you got the game to run well if it's not really running well. It'd be different if this was like, here's how we fixed it, here's how we're gonna fix it, but it kind of just sounds more like, this is how we got it running the way that it is running. Yeah, not really. It's just not a good look. I mean, and really, I can't blame them for canceling it because of all of the, the harassment and whatnot. Yeah, there's maybe a chance that they'll stir up some trouble. I mean, I don't know. I know GDC, at least the American one, it's not open to the general public. You have to be part of the media to get in. Tickets are kind of expensive if you don't get like a special invite or something. So I don't know if it's the same in Japan. It's hard for me to imagine that game developers and journalists would harass the devs. At the same time, though, if they were there giving the talk at all, I don't know, maybe that could still drum up some issues surrounding the event. I really don't know. We don't, again, Capcom didn't give an exact reason why, but it's obvious that the reason why is because of all of this nastiness. And really, it's just a very good indication of the pickle that Capcom seems to be in right now. Again, I don't know why the game is having such problems. I don't know why they seem to be unable to fix it, and it is disappointing. Again, their games are usually optimized really well. They run super duper well. I mean, it was a miracle. Monster Hunter Rise on Switch, it was amazing. It was impossible that it looked and ran as good as it did. I was super impressed. All the Resident Evil games, just every Capcom game I ever play, they run so well. So I don't know what happened with Monster Hunter Wilds, and it is really disappointing to see that this issue just won't resolve. And I don't know if it will at this point. You know, I don't know. We just don't know how. I mean, they claim that they're going to continue to keep working on it, and I really do have faith in Capcom. That's the thing. You know, like, there's a lot of video game companies out there, a lot of them, that I do not really trust. For the most part, I trust Capcom. I think they're awesome. I think they're some of the best developers in gaming right now, especially in the AAA space. Like, they're great. I don't think they're being lazy, you know, I don't think they're like purposefully throwing everybody under the bus. Like, they don't do that. That's not really in their nature. So I don't know why it's happening, and I can only hope that they can continue to improve it. I hope that they are still working on it, and I hope that they do eventually reach a point where they can get the game better optimized, particularly on PC. Because it's sad. It's sad to see them in this position. It's sad to see the Monster Hunter fans in this position. Like, this is a big deal. A really, really big. I personally know people who are just out of their minds excited for a new Monster Hunter game. It's a huge thing. It's a massive event. It's so big. So it's just a real bummer to see it all kind of soured by this whole situation. It's a real bummer all around. So fingers crossed they can fix things up. Fingers crossed they can put in some post-game content that satisfies players on a deeper level that they expect. And hopefully it does not take too long.